there can be a huge gap between what we desire and what we're capable of manifesting for ourselves. And that's basically what this really is all about. And it may take years. And I guess the way I like to describe that particular, I guess when I say it may take years, it's what I call psychological distance. Psychological distance is very abstract and it's extremely difficult to measure. The example I can give you in my own personal life is that there are many times that I felt compelled to buy books and just skim them a little bit, see the potential that may be in that book, and yet not be ready to read it for several years later. That's happened many times in my life. And when the time was right, it's like I found myself reaching for that particular book and got into it and stayed into it until I, gleaned whatever it is that was in it that I needed out of it. We're talking about psychology. We're talking about mental makeup. These are not things that we typically grow up learning how to work with. We don't go through grade school getting psychology courses. We don't even really get, probably good psychology. Maybe today the kids in high school might. I don't really know. I didn't in high school. And I don't even think the psychology courses in many colleges are probably that good, because they're perpetuating what people did 100 years ago instead of really, in many cases, being creative and finding things that really work today. So since we're talking about our mental makeup, we're going to have to learn some skills. We're going to have to learn skills to bridge, let's say, this gap between, let's see, where someone might be here and this distance to this psychological, let's say, this is the psychological distance to this particular mindset that they're trying to acquire. In essence, they're saying, I need to reinvent myself in some ways. Now, what does that distance mean? Well, it's very abstract. There's really no way to say that it has anything to do with linear inches or centimeters or whatever. It's more, I would say it's more like software code. It would be saying, like, if I had a software program that was consisted of 1 million lines of code, and that code was virtually perfect, except that it had one period out of place in one line, and that particular software program ran perfectly under virtually all circumstances except one particular circumstance in which that one period that's out of place caused the whole thing to shut down and cause a catastrophic shutdown, okay? Now, you could say, if you want to equate this to psychological distance, you could say that what's the distance between, let's say, where that person's at and the ideal or most perfect mindset? Just one period away, right? The problem is finding that particular line and knowing how to fix the error.